Most people who deal with constant bloating and gas have no idea that the real cause might have nothing to do with what they ate yesterday. It could be something happening deep inside their digestive system every single day, quietly building up until their stomach feels tight, uncomfortable, and embarrassing in public. What if the actual reason you keep feeling gassy and bloated is not the beans or the broccoli at all, but something your body has been struggling with for years, without you even knowing it? Stay with me, because by the end of this video you will understand exactly why this happens and what you can actually do about it starting today. Hello, I'm Dr. Harrison. I have spent years studying digestive health and helping people understand what is really going on inside their gut. Bloating and gas are two of the most common complaints I hear from people of every age, in every country. And the frustrating part is that most of the advice out there barely scratches the surface. Today we are going deep into the real causes, and I am going to walk you through practical steps that research suggests may actually help calm things down for good. This is not just a topic for older adults either. I hear from teenagers, busy professionals, new parents, and people well into their 80s, all describing the exact same frustrating feeling. Tight pants by the end of the day, embarrassing sounds at the worst possible moment, a stomach that looks noticeably bigger at night than it did in the morning. If any of that sounds familiar, you are in the right place, because the explanation is often more physical and more fixable than people assume. Let's start with the problem itself. Bloating happens when gas builds up in your digestive tract faster than your body can move it along or release it. For some people, this shows up as a tight, swollen feeling after meals. For others, it is more like ongoing discomfort that seems to get worse as the day goes on. And here is something that might surprise you. Many people who struggle with this every day do not actually have too much acid in their stomach. Research suggests the opposite may often be true. Low stomach acid can be a major hidden trigger. Your stomach is supposed to be highly acidic enough to break down protein and destroy unwanted microbes before they cause trouble. When acid levels are lower than they should be, food that should be broken down quickly can sit there longer, ferment, and produce the very gas that leaves you feeling puffed up and uncomfortable. This is one of the most overlooked pieces of the puzzle, and it is rarely the first thing people think about when they feel bloated. Think about it this way. Imagine a fire that is supposed to burn hot enough to break down everything you throw into it quickly and cleanly. Now imagine that same fire burning weak and low. Things sit there longer, they smolder instead of burning cleanly, and you get smoke where you should not. Your digestive system works in a similar way. Weak stomach acid means food lingers, bacteria get more time to interact with it, and gas is often the byproduct. This single issue may be quietly affecting millions of people who have never once considered that their stomach acid could be the culprit rather than the solution. But that is not the only piece. Another major factor researchers point to is an overgrowth of bacteria or yeast in the small intestine, sometimes called SIBO or SIFO. Normally, these microbes live further down in the large intestine where they belong. But when they migrate upward into the small intestine, they can ferment food that passes through, leading to gas, cramping, and that stubborn bloated feeling that never seems to fully go away no matter what you try. Stay with me, because what causes this shift might be one of the biggest mistakes almost everyone makes without realizing it. Chronic stress plays a much bigger role in digestion than most people ever consider. Your body has two very different modes. One is fight or flight, designed for emergencies. The other is rest and digest, controlled largely by the vagus nerve, which helps your gut function properly. When stress becomes constant, your body can get stuck in that emergency mode, and digestion often takes a back seat. This may explain why so many people notice their bloating gets worse as the day goes on, especially during busy or stressful periods. This connection between stress and digestion is something people underestimate constantly. You might eat the exact same meal on 2 different days and feel completely fine one day, then bloated and uncomfortable the next. The difference is often not the food at all. It is what was happening in your mind and body around that meal. Rushing through lunch during a stressful workday, eating while scrolling through upsetting news, or sitting down to dinner still tense from an argument can all quietly interfere with how well your body handles digestion in that moment. Your gut and your brain are constantly communicating, and when one is under pressure, the other tends to feel it too. So why do so many people struggle with this for years without ever fixing it? Part of the answer is that most solutions people try only address symptoms instead of causes. Cutting out one food group might bring temporary relief, but if low stomach acid or an overgrowth deeper in the gut is still there, the bloating tends to come right back. People often blame themselves, thinking they simply need more willpower with their diet, when the real issue may be happening on a completely different level inside the body. Now let's talk about what you can actually do, because this is where things get interesting. Number 1, supporting healthy stomach acid levels may help your body break down food more efficiently and reduce fermentation before it starts. Some people find that eating more slowly, chewing thoroughly, and avoiding large amounts of liquid during meals can support this process naturally. Always check with a doctor before trying any supplement meant to support stomach acid, especially if you have a history of ulcers. Number 2, pay close attention to specific dietary triggers. Certain foods are well known for producing extra gas, including beans, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cabbage, dairy products, certain grains, and sugar alcohols found in sugar-free products. Gluten in particular can be difficult for some people to digest fully. Try removing one suspected trigger at a time for a couple of weeks and take note of how your body responds. This step-by-step approach tends to be far more revealing than cutting everything out all at once. Keeping a simple food journal can make a bigger difference than most people expect. Just jotting down what you ate and how your stomach felt an hour or two later can start to reveal patterns you never noticed before. Maybe it is not dairy at all. Maybe it is the amount of bread you are eating with dinner or the sugar-free gum you chew throughout the day without a second thought. Sugar alcohols in particular are notorious for causing gas even in small amounts, and they hide in products labeled as sugar-free or low-carb. So reading labels carefully can be surprisingly revealing. Number 3, and this one surprises a lot of people, giving your digestive system a real break between meals may support something called the migrating motor complex, a natural cleansing wave that moves through your intestines when you are not eating. Constant snacking throughout the day can interrupt this process. Some research suggests that spacing meals further apart may give your gut the time it needs to clear out leftover food particles and reduce the buildup that leads to bloating. Number 4, do not underestimate the power of calming your nervous system. Since the vagus nerve plays such a central role in digestion, simple practices like slow nasal breathing, getting consistent quality sleep, and reducing chronic stress where possible may help shift your body back into that rest and digest state. Even a few minutes of deep breathing before meals may make a noticeable difference for some people. Try this simple approach before your next meal. Sit down, take 5 slow breaths in through your nose, hold briefly, and exhale slowly through your mouth. It sounds almost too simple to matter, but this small pause may help signal to your nervous system that it is safe to shift into digestion mode before the first bite even reaches your stomach. Consistent quality sleep matters here too, since poor sleep tends to keep your body in a more reactive, stressed state throughout the following day, which can carry over into how well you digest your meals. Number 5, consider supporting your gut with specific probiotic strains known for their role in digestive balance. Research suggests certain strains may help support a healthier gut environment over time, though results can vary from person to person, so it is worth discussing options with a healthcare provider familiar with your history. Here's the biggest mistake most people make. They try one single fix, expect instant results, and give up after a few days when nothing dramatic happens. But real digestive healing tends to be gradual. Your gut did not become imbalanced overnight, and it likely will not fully recalibrate overnight either. The people who tend to see the most improvement are the ones who make small, consistent changes and give their body time to respond. I have also noticed that people who track their progress tend to stick with these changes longer. Simple notes like how bloated you felt on a scale from 1 to 10, what you ate, and how stressed you were that day can turn a vague feeling of discomfort into a clear pattern within just a couple of weeks. Once you can see the pattern, the solution usually becomes a lot more obvious, and that clarity alone tends to keep people motivated when progress feels slow. Let's quickly recap everything we covered today. Bloating and gas are often driven by low stomach acid, an overgrowth of bacteria or yeast in the small intestine, specific dietary triggers, and chronic stress affecting your vagus nerve. The path forward involves supporting healthy digestion, identifying your personal trigger foods, giving your gut proper rest between meals, calming your nervous system, and considering targeted probiotic support, always in conversation with your own doctor. If this video helped you understand your own bloating a little better, let me know in the comments which one of these 5 factors surprised you the most. Have you ever noticed your bloating getting worse when you are stressed? I would love to hear your experience below. And if you found this helpful, share it with someone in your life who deals with this every single day, because they deserve real answers too. Take care of your gut, listen to what your body is telling you, and I will see you in the next video.